Make a hot cuppa and relax. It's Afternoon Karak with Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiyah.
On Pulse 95.
Hello. Welcome to the Afternoon Karak. It's Aisha Al-Mazmi running solo for a couple of more days, and then Mikhail Atiyah will be joining us, and the Dream Team will be reunited once again. This is the weekend, and God, am I excited. I'm pretty sure all of you are excited too. Lots of plans, lots of things to do. I mean, first of all, you can fix your sleep. That is the most important thing ever. Granted, I know all of us will not fix our sleep and will further ruin it by sleeping in. But to those people who somehow manage to become morning persons even on the weekend, this is a massive shout out to you. You guys are the bestest. And even the ones who cannot manage to wake up early or stay up wake up really early, such as Umnia Saleh from Future Talk, who apparently shares my problems as well. She's trying her bestest. This is why I'm saying this is also a shout out for you guys who are trying. Maybe one day you will get there, but until then, it is all right. Just stay strong, keep sleeping. Sleeping is important, 7 to 8 hours for adults, so make sure you're sleeping. At least sleep during the weekend. As for today, what do we have on our agenda? But none other than another celebration. You are celebrating a big group of people. I will not tell you who they are. That you'll be finding out very soon. It's one of the first things we're going to be talking about in this hour. Then we have a big announcement. Dexter is coming back. Now, that is one show I did not expect to be coming back, especially after the whole mess of what happened with the finale and whatnot. I'm going to be talking about that. And a rumor. It's not a Marvel rumor, but a DC rumor. And finally, we have a movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, and many big names. Join in the conversation. Text me 4215. It's a lot or do. And tell me how you're going to be spending your weekend. How excited are you about the following topics I just spoke about? And we'll be discussing throughout this hour, keeping you entertained from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. only here on Pulse 95.
What's the date?
What's the date?
What's the date?
What are we celebrating today?
I did say that we are celebrating a massive population right now. Not talking about a population in the UAE only, but across the entire world. According to some statistics, there might be 1 billion of these people. And I'm pretty sure that there are many more of these because we're talking only about high school students right now. But what about all kinds of students? We're talking about kindergarten students, nursery students. They count. They still count. Primary students, secondary school students, whether it's middle school or high school, university, college students, master students, and PhD students. And this is who we are celebrating today, because today happens to be World Students Day. So shout out to all the students of the world. Especially Umnia Saleh, who is a very diligent student who is doing her master's in translation. I'm also doing my master's as well, but we're not going to be talking about that because I'm pretending that I do not have anything to write. So I am a student as well, but again, pretending that I'm not, or at least forgetting that I am a student every once in a while. But that's okay. We don't need to talk about it right now. We're celebrating being a student, and it is such a difficult thing. All of us go through this stage in our lives. Some of us continue going through this stage. I mean, yes, you can be philosophical and say we're all students of life, but no, we're talking about students within the education system. Yes, we're all students of life. We're all learning from life, and we never stop learning either. But let's talk about, high school students and even middle school students and even college students during this time, especially during the pandemic. It's super difficult trying to adapt to something that is such an uncharted territory. Even the professors themselves are going through a lot. I'm pretty sure of that. I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot of posts on Twitter, on Instagram, all over social media platforms talking about how some professors might be just a bit extra lately. They're asking people to turn on the cameras all the time. Some people are annoyed that They're being forced to participate in, well, yes, you need to participate in class to show that you are awake, but some people would rather not, especially if you're in your pajamas at home. But you have to pretend that you're within, a proper academic setting. So try your best, guys. It's okay. It's inshallah only gonna be a small part of your life where we're going through a pandemic. Eventually everything will go back to normal. Until then, just make do with what you have. Thank God I finished all my classes before the pandemic, but it's super hard trying to meet up with my professors and my advisors during this time, because it's like, when is it appropriate? Are they in their classes? Are they in their offices? So I understand anybody who's trying to, make do with this situation. I know that it's super, super hard, which is why we need to celebrate today. And it's perfect that here in the UAE, where it's a weekend already. So this means you can celebrate it, whether it's at home, you can celebrate it at a friend's house. Again, don't forget to social distance and wear a mask and take care of yourself. And if you want, you can also do the whole social bubble that we spoke about a while back. Check out our podcast about it, where we spoke about how if you're feeling kind of uncomfortable but also still want to meet up with family and friends, we spoke about the social bubble, the social distancing bubble that you guys can create with your loved ones that can help minimize contact with other people and also avoid COVID-19 as much as you can. How will you guys celebrate this amazing day? I think I'm gonna treat myself, perhaps tomorrow, not today. Maybe I'm gonna order something. I think a cake would be good. Yesterday was dessert day. So in conjunction, you can like I said, you can celebrate two things at the same time. Get your favorite dessert and say, as a student, I deserve this break and I deserve to have this piece of cake because I'm going through a lot. So go ahead, order that cake, order that pie, order that extra chocolate, the ice cream, whatever you want. If you want, order some pizza. Basically, treat yourself, pat yourself on the back and say, well done you, well done me for getting through this and getting this far, because being a student is super hard. But one day, just like me and just like a lot of people who graduated from their bachelors, you're gonna miss it a lot because the adult life is not fun. I'm talking from the other side, guys. It's not fun at all. And I'm pretty sure people who are doing their masters and PhD and working, or the ones doing their bachelors and working, can relate to this very much. I'm going to be taking a break, and coming up next, we're going to be talking about some DC rumors. We've got so many things going on today, so stay tuned for that and much more right here on the Afternoon Karak.
Pulse 95.
I recall back in 2013, there were a lot of angry people all across social media platforms because Dexter had just ended. And according to them, the ending was quite underwhelming. It was disappointing. They did not like what was going on. So I believe this is something that is quite new in the sense that we're getting a revival of Dexter, starring the same actor who played him, that is Michael C. Hall, and Clyde Phillips, who was the showrunner, is also coming back to this new limited series or limited revival of Dexter. Now, I know we've had so many reboots, so what's the difference? I don't know. It just feels so much different than the usual reboot, especially since, first of all, we're getting the same actor who did the same role to come back to reprise his role. Same goes for the showrunner. I don't think we've ever seen that before. I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm trying to remember, has that happened before with any other TV show? I don't think so. We've had a lot of reboots when it comes to movies especially. And we've had a lot of rebooted movies as well. We've had continuation of stories when they jump further into time and to the future. And the first one that comes up to my mind is Fuller House, for example, or That's So Raven, and whatnot. So no, this is quite new and is very interesting. And I like the fact that they are basically responding to the fans. According to Gary Levine, the co-president of entertainment at Showtime, they said the network was willing to come back to the show if they found something interesting. And according to them, they have found something that is worthy. They have found it. Now, what it is, we just need to wait and see whenever the TV show comes up. It's going to be 10 episodes long, again, a limited series, and it's very interesting that they're gonna cover all these seasons in 10 episodes, or are they gonna just completely revamp the story? Now I'm gonna go towards spoiler territory. I haven't watched Dexter, but I have looked up people's reactions and opinions to that episode all the way back from 2013, and basically what happened is that Dexter, first off, his sister had survived the shooting from the previous episode, but she was brain dead. So she was more or less dead, and he unplugs her, her support system. She passes away, and somehow he manages to bury her at sea, and then he goes off. What seemingly appears that he's going to go kill himself when he drives his boat right into a hurricane. But then it appears that he did survive that hurricane, and now is living with an alias as a completely different person. And some people thought that was very underwhelming. The fact that he got a second chance was just something they were not expecting, and was too underwhelming, something they did not want to happen, and would probably wanted something completely different. So this might be their chance to reprise the entire thing, to work around it. Whatever it is that they have discovered would fix everything. I hope that it's enough for the fans, because you don't want to disappoint them twice in a row. That's not good. Especially, again, this time you only have 10 episodes to do it and not a couple of seasons to flesh out the story. But I believe that with today's writing, a lot of writers and, they've come a long way. They've taken a lot of they've become a lot more creative. They're becoming more intense. They're becoming more adventurous. So I have faith that whatever it is kind of interesting. It's going to grab or pique everybody's interest. But will it work out for the die-hard fans? I mean, maybe me as a newcomer, I might be interested and I'd be saying, oh, no, that's a great job. Well done. However, what about those die-hard fans? Again, they disappointed them once. Are they disappointing them one more time? That's going to be really bad, especially for Michael himself and the showrunners, if they're going to bring back more of the producers and the creators, or maybe they're going to bring back even some of the actors and actresses. What's happening with that? We don't know much. I mean, this story itself, that Dexter is going to have a revival, was massive. I did not see that coming, and I'm pretty sure the fans did not either. I feel like they might have mixed feelings, and especially since it's only been 7 years, and 7 years to some is a lot. When it comes to TV shows and movies, that is not a lot at all. So we just need to wait and see what's going to happen in the next couple of months, because it will go into production in early 2021. However, the premiere of the show will happen in fall 2021. So things are going into motion very, very quickly. So excited for that. We're going to talk about it, inshallah, in the future as soon as we get more information right here on the Afternoon Karak. Text me 4215 Etisalat fans. Etisalat, and Dexter fans, I want to know, are you happy? Are you excited? Tell me all about that. You can comment at Pulse 95 Radio on YouTube, Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. We are everywhere. Looking forward to hearing what you say. Coming up next is a rumor. Not a Marvel one, but a DC rumor. I'm finding more DC stories, don't worry. So stay tuned for that after the sports headlines.
Speculation, gossip, or hoax. Rumor has it.
Now, even though Black Adam has been officially removed from the list of titles and movies coming very soon to the DCEU, that doesn't mean that they're not going to keep on casting the rest of the actors and actresses who are going to be playing the villains to the anti-hero Black Adam, who's going to be played by John the Rock. I keep getting his name. When I have to say it completely, I mean the full name, I always get it wrong. So I'm just going to say The Rock. His name, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Who is John? I have no idea who. I was going to say John The Rock, the Dwayne. I always end up doing that. So let's stick with The Rock. From now on, His name is The Rock, and that is it. So The Rock is going to be playing Black Adam, and everybody's been excited since DC fandom, and even before that when he's been talking and hyping it up. And apparently, according to this rumor from the Illuminati, I love that name, lovely puns, we love puns right here on the Afternoon Karak. They finally found, or at least they've been eyeing, who's going to be playing this new supervillain to Black Adam. His name is Sabak. He's revealed to be Ishmael Gregor. Now, Ishmael Gregor is a Russian mob boss who stole the powers of Timothy Carnes, who happens to be the original Sabak, to become a powerful demon with powers akin to Shazam, where he basically yells Sabak and then some kind of lightning hits him and he turns into a really, really strong demonic kind of creature. So I'm kind of interested because it feels like they're actually going to be quite dark, because of course Black Adam is a villain himself, but he could also be an anti-hero. But here in this story, they're saying that they might actually have found who's going to be playing it, and they're actually eyeing none other than the Tunisian Dutch actor Marwan Kenzari, who played the vizier in Aladdin, and he was quite interesting over there. He was the one who turned into Jafar later on, but I don't know much about him, to be honest. I can't really say personally. I did not mind him much in Aladdin. I feel like he is more than capable to take on this role. But is it the proper role for him? Is it not? I have no idea. I can't really say. I'm gonna be neutral about it until it's officially announced and we see Black Adam whenever Black Adam comes out. But like I said, I'm quite interested in the direction the DCEU is taking. I know that they've been trying so hard at trying to make DC much more edgier than Marvel, because Marvel is taking somewhat of a comedic route, more or less, especially after the Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's what it's seen as. Marvel is somewhat funnier. DCEU is going to be more about grunge and darkness and feelings and emotions, all about raw emotion. But honestly, as long as whatever they embrace, basically, as long as it's suitable for the movie, everybody's gonna love it. I mean, look at what happened with the Justice League. Look at what happened with Batman versus Superman. Everybody was kind of like, you're trying too hard to make it seem edgy, when if you had just focused on the story and refining it, it would have been quite a lovely story. People would not have had really bad emotions and really bad reactions attached to this movie, or like such bad connotations associated with this movie. So I just hope that whatever comes out, I hope it's really good. Again, as much as I prefer the MCU, doesn't mean that I hate the DCEU or DC at all. Love Marvel, love DC, love superhero movies, but I hope that they get everything together. That's all I wish for Warner Brothers, is to get everything together, clean your act, and get on with it, catch up, even though the MCU is way, way ahead. Or maybe don't even catch up. It's not necessarily a race. You can just do your own thing. Just do it really well, refine it, and all the fans from across the entire world, whether they actually love DC or not, they're going to be massive fans. They're going to love it even more. They're going to enjoy it a lot more. So whatever comes out of Black Adam, I have high hopes for it, because The Rock he's very diligent with his roles and he works hard. So I'm looking forward to it. Not saying that the rest of the actors and actresses within the DC universe do not work hard, but still, I'm looking forward to Black Adam in particular. Maybe I need to go watch Shazam. It's been a while, so I need to go watch a lot of DC movies, catch up. Until then, maybe we'll get an official statement for Warner Brothers about when Black Adam is expected to drop. What do you guys think? What do you think about Sabak being the supervillain standing against Black Adam? What do you feel about that? I'm interested. I don't know much about Sabak. I don't know much about Black Adam. So all excitement right here on the Afternoon Karak. We've got more stories, more fun, more entertainment coming up next. So stay tuned for that and much more right here on the Afternoon Karak.
This is Pulse 95.
Has any of you guys ever thought of what happens to those scientists and all these apocalyptic movies where they're the ones who warn everybody, hey, something bad is really gonna happen, but nobody ever believes them, right? What happens to them? What is their stories? Well, you're in luck because there's gonna be a movie starring Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio, starring two low-level scientists who, upon discovering that a meteor will strike the Earth in 6 months, go on a media tour to try to warn the world, but find an unreceptive and unbelieving populace. So it's like those two. Remember how, I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. I think it was the San Andreas Fault, the one with The Rock. I know I keep talking about The Rock. Maybe it's The Rock Hour right here on the afternoon, Karak. And in that movie, there were those geologists who were trying to convince people that, the San Andreas Fault is back and it's very ruthless and it's gonna kill everybody, like the earthquake. There'll be earthquakes and disasters, but nobody listens to them until I'm trying to remember, was it a dam when it starts shaking and it collapses into itself? So it's like that kind of story. But what's interesting about this movie is not the premise of the movie itself, which is quite interesting anyway, but rather the entire cast. There are so many people, lots of big names already signed up for this interesting movie that's going to be coming up to Netflix. For example, we have Meryl Streep, we have Jonah Hill, we have Hamish Patel, we have Kate Blanchett, Rob Morgan, Matthew Perry, Timothy Chalamet, Ariana Grande, Kid Cudi, and Tomer Sicily. So that's just a small list that could eventually expand further than this name. And so it's very interesting the direction they're going towards. I believe that those names are actually going to be they're going to be appearing as themselves, as cameos, since of course this is all a media tour. So maybe they're going to be singing in this. Ariana Grande is going to be in it. Maybe they're going to appear alongside them in some sort of show or whatnot. It's super interesting. I don't recall any movie that is similar to this where they take on this sort of story or this sort of approach to a story. Usually I feel that movies with a lot of big names, they tend to be too much. They tend to be too extra, and you're just sitting here like, do I really need this? Is this exactly what I needed? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But I believe in the creators. I know I said that earlier. Maybe I just feeling very generous today. I believe in everybody creating movies lately. Whatever movies are coming up next, I'm very optimistic about them. Could be that I'm optimistic because it's also the weekend and I'm looking forward to the weekend and we're celebrating Students' Day. As a student myself, super happy to be celebrated. And also yesterday was dessert day. So we've had a couple of good days, in a row. So I'm feeling optimistic. And with that note, I'm going to be leaving you with all this optimism, lots of love as we end the afternoon karak and make way for Big Hass and Anna Schofield, keeping up the fun, keeping up the smiles and whatnot. Stay tuned to them from 5 to 8 only here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Afternoon Karak, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.